Gloucester MG Owners Club have been organising a run through the Cotswolds for many years. This year, 2023, the Caper was held on Sunday the 9th of July. It was our 7th Caper, and they are so good we keep coming back. This year's Caper started at the Cheltenham Tigers Rugby Club, and we were flagged off for 82 miles of scenic driving through the Cotswolds. About 85 MGs of various ages, from the 1950s cars to a modern electric MG, set off for this Caper, which was very well organised and marshalled by the Gloucester MG Owners Club volunteers. The Caper this year was raising funds for the Family Haven charity, who work with vulnerable households in and around Gloucestershire, providing much needed support in difficult times. Our run took us from the Tigers Rugby Club near Bishop's Cleeve, through Southam and up over Cleeve Hill, just to the south of the famous Prescott Speed hill climb site owned by the MG Owners Club. The Cotswolds are full of lovely villages, mainly built from local yellow oolitic Jurassic limestone. The market town of Winchcombe is delightful, with its churches, pubs and narrow streets. Whilst many buildings are constructed from Cotswold stone, there are also many timbered buildings. It was on the 1st of February 1905 that Winchcombe was visited by a railway at Greet, about a mile north of the village centre. This Great Western Line, eventually extended from Honeybourne to Cheltenham, served Winchcombe until 1960, when passenger services stopped. However, the Gloucester-Warwickshire Railway relaid and reopened much of the line, with Winchcombe Station opening on the 8th of March 1987. It had been 28 years since a passenger train last entered the station. It's well worth a visit. Leaving Winchcombe behind, we head into the country and come across one of Sudeley Castle's gatehouses. Sudeley Castle is about a mile south of Winchcombe. We were delighted to pull over as a Bugatti came in the opposite direction. This Type 40, known as Lydia, was created by Jean Bugatti for his sister Lydia, without his father's knowledge, in 1928. Round a bend and down a hill, we came across two foreign-made cars who had just come through the first of two fords we were to cool our car's tyres in during the Caper. This first one was the River Windrush in its infancy, as it flows towards the River Thames at Newbridge in Oxfordshire. The next market town we were to pass through was Chipping Camden. Its terraced high street dates back to the 14th to 17th century. In the Middle Ages, it was a wool trading centre enjoying the patronage of wealthy wool merchants. The market hall, seen on the left as we pass it by, was built in 1627 and is still in use today. St James's Church, visible straight ahead over the tops of the buildings, is an early perpendicular church built on the proceeds of the wool trade. Parts of the church date back to the 1400s. We passed the church in Station Road on our way out of Chipping Campden. Just south of Paxford, our travel was interrupted as barriers crossed the road. A GWR Intercity Express train passed and the barriers went up, allowing the queuing bicycles, motorbikes, motor caravan and of course cars to safely pass over the Oxford to Worcester railway line. Over the railway line, on our right, are the Northcott Brickworks. They have been making bricks for nearly 100 years and provided the bricks that we used to build the Battersea Power Station in London. We passed through the village of Blockley, where Watsonian Squire have been building sidecars since 1984. They built their first sidecars in 1912 in Birmingham. On joining the A44 towards Oxford, we pass through Bourton-on-the-Hill, where this main trunk road narrows and we have to take great care navigating through the village. Shortly after Bourton-on-the-Hill, on our left, we are guided into Batford Arboretum for our lunch stop. You'll observe that the wonderful Gloucester MGOC volunteers often have large green or red hands to direct us. This is so helpful, they certainly stand out in the crowd. After our picnics, we set off again, being reminded to reset our trip mileages as we left Batsford Arboretum car park by another of the fantastic Gloucestershire MGOC volunteers. As we approach Morton-in-Marsh, another Cotswold market town, we pass the Wellington Aviation Museum, recording the training of air crews on the World War II airfield to the east side of the town. After passing through Morton-in-Marsh and Evenlode, we arrive at the village of Broadwell. Here was a chance for our cars to cool their tyres again in our second ford, this time a tributary to the River Evenlode, which flows for 45 miles from its source near Morton-in-Marsh to the River Thames. Drivers all approach the ford at different speeds, some gently and some with more enthusiasm. The MGTA proved to be one of the more adventurous, as we can see by the size of the splash of water. The TR7 was also very adventurous, and listening to the note of the exhaust as it drives up the hill, it is obviously a V8. In the village of Adlestrop, the bus shelter carries the former railway station name sign. The station served the village from 1853 until the beaching cuts of 1966. It is immortalised in the poem Adlestrop by Edward Thomas after his train stopped there on the 24th of June 1914. Approaching Brockhampton, the village is appealing for their pub, the Craven Arms, to be saved. It would appear that rising costs have defeated the business, although there is hope as the initial planning application, presumably for a change of use, has been refused. Let us hope that Brockhampton gets their pub back. As we complete our 82nd mile and return to the Cheltenham Tigers Rugby Club, I would like to express my thanks to Rob Cottrell, the Gloucester MG Owners Club Chairman, Trev Panter, Head of the Caper Committee, Lawrence Gulliford, Caper Administrator, the marshals round the route, the pink ladies who booked us in and sold us raffle tickets, and not forgetting all those behind the scenes whose labours all came together to make a wonderful 17th Cotswold Caper. Congratulations on raising £4,500 for the Family Haven charity this year. I look forward to participating in the 18th Cotswold Caper on the 7th of July 2024.